It is prediction time here on Philadelphia 76ers Now. I am your host, Chase Sr. Can you believe that NBA training camp gets underway next week? Can't believe it. Where has time gone? Probably dedicated and devoted to the National Football League. But let's talk some hoops. Really excited for Sixers basketball to return and to dive into our bold predictions with training camp tipping off on September 27th. So prediction number one for me, is I think the Sixers are really well equipped, deeper, more talented, and less top-heavy and more well-rounded as a roster as compared to previous years. So my bold prediction number one, Sixers win 60 or more games. And you take a look at this roster here, right? You're led by Joel Embiid. He is the backbone of this franchise. Love the acquisition and the signing of Montrezl Harrell. That then slides back Paul Reed to that number 3 center spot, which is where I think he fits better. The guys on the right of your screen, Charles Bassey might be able to make the team, but will probably go back and forth between the Sixers roster as well as the Delaware Bluecoats. And then you look at the forwards here. PJ Tucker adds much needed toughness to this basketball team that they have lacked in some of the critical moments over the last couple of years. Tobias Harris, I think, is set for a really big season. We'll get to him coming up around the corner. Daniel House is a glue guy, really athletic wing who can defend, shoot the 3-ball a little bit, get out in transition and throw down some dunks. George Niang was one of the better 3-point shooters coming off the bench last year among all bench players and role players a year ago. And then Matisse Thybulle, all NBA 2 of the last 3 years. He's been in the league 3, recognized as one of the better defenders in 2 of those. Really impressive, just has to improve that 3-point shot. And then with the trade of DeAnthony Melton, you trade away Danny Green essentially, and you get back DeAnthony Melton, who I think has a huge year in store for him as well. James Harden bounce back year, hopefully. Him coming into training camp, slimmer, worked on his game. Hopefully he feels disrespected with how last year went. I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be a star. Shake Milton, solid bench type. And then some of the backup guards who can maybe give you some size as well. Charlie Brown, Isaiah Joe, intriguing player because he can shoot the rock. The same can be said for Furkan Korkmaz, who has to return to what he was 2 years ago as compared to last year. So that's prediction number one. We're only getting started. Prediction number 2, Tyrese Maxey makes the All-Star game. In year 1, I was blown away by how this kid carried himself. Loved him coming out of Kentucky because of that combo guard type of ability. And in the playoffs, he really started to turn a lot of heads. And then in year 2, without Ben Simmons on the floor, without him reporting to the team, Tyrese Maxey was thrust into the starting point guard role, a position that he hadn't really played much of at Kentucky. Of course, he can play it, but he's more comfortable at that 2-guard spot. And once James Harden came here, I thought Tyrese Maxey really took advantage of that opportunity as well. And you see the growth that's taken place year 1, year 2. That's why I think another step is going to be taken. And Daryl Morey did say recently that they are counting on Tyrese Maxey to make a sizable jump. He's doubled his points per game, even more than double it from year 1 to year 2. Can he get to like 24 points per game and have a Darius Garland-like season this upcoming season? I think he can. I think Tyrese Maxey makes the All-Star team. What do you think, though? Will he be recognized as an All-Star in this league in year 3? Give me an A for All-Star or a C for not quite. He'll be close. Make sure you get those votes into the comment section right now. We move forward to prediction number 3. Joel Embiid, after finishing runner-up to the Joker back-to-back years for MVP, finally wins the Most Valuable Player award. And this is really important for him in terms of his overall legacy. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. He's already one of the best Sixers of all time. But if he wins that MVP award, he enters into a different stratosphere among the greats that this game has ever seen. And last year, not only is this graphic filthy, his numbers were filthy. 30.5 points per game, the NBA's leading scorer, nearly 12 rebounds, and given how much the offense relied on him, he was still so efficient. 50% from the floor, 37% from beyond the arc for a guy who's more than 7 feet tall. Blocks per game, good. Steals per game, good as well. Very good defensive player. Stays healthy, and he wins the NBA MVP. And finally, dethrones Nikola Jokic, who has won back-to-back MVPs after beating out Joel Embiid back-to-back years. Show some love to number 21, JoJo, Philadelphia's own, a Philadelphia legend, one of the greatest Sixers of all time. If you love JoJo and you love Joel Embiid, hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. To the aforementioned James Harden. Big season for him coming up. Took that financial sacrifice so that the team could go after a PJ Tucker and sign a Montrezl Harrell. I think Harden is going to be motivated. He looks to be in better shape. So too does Tyrese Maxey, by the way. Saw a picture recently of him doing some squats. And James Harden finishes top 10 in MVP voting. Now, some of you might say, Chase, that's not a bold prediction. He was pretty bad last year in some moments and just didn't look right. This year, I think he looks right. I think his numbers improve a little bit. I'm fine with the points per game with where they're at. I'm cool with the dimes. I'm cool with the rebounds. What I want to see, field goal percentage, uptick in that. 3-point percentage, increase those numbers, and I think James Harden is a more efficient player this year, and because he puts his impact on the game in a variety of areas statistically, and just when you watch him, that's why he's going to get some of that MVP recognition. Let me ask you this question, Philly. Sixers fans out there, no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, greatly appreciate you for supporting the show. Are you subscribed to the channel? If you are, Real One roll call. Type Real One into the comment section, and we're trying to get to 10,000 subs as soon as possible. How quickly can we get there? It's up to you. Are you a competitor like me? Well, we're competing against other channels here at Chat Sports, like New York Knicks Now, Boston Celtics Today, and other channels out there. So if you like what you're seeing, hit that red sub button right now. Pretty fitting. We're 1766. Let's get to 1776 away. I don't know. That actually probably wouldn't be good. That'd mean that we're more away from 10,000 subs. I just wanted to show my Philadelphia history knowledge there. Okay, enough of that. Prediction number 5. I hate math. Matisse Thybulle, speaking of math, ups his shooting percentage from distance to 35%. Now, for him, that's a pretty sizable leap because last year he was hovering around 31%. He has to be better. He can't be played off the floor. He can't be a negative asset when he is on the floor in crunch time because of what he brings this team and the special ability that he has defensively. Points per game, I think, go up if the three-point numbers go up. Why? Because he'll play more, he'll be given more opportunities, and he'll be more comfortable. I want to see the shooting mechanics clean up a little bit. With that elbow sticking out, tuck it in a little bit. That's my easy knowledge for him. Get with the shot doctor, the steals, the blocks. I mean, the steals at almost 2, the blocks at more than 1. Those are great, great numbers, Matisse. But Thybulle, I want to see you be a bully more and start knocking down those threes. Got to be better. Get to 35%, and you'll be more respectable. As for prediction number 6, this is kind of lofty, but 2 years ago, Tobias Harris got very, very close to these splits. Toby goes 50, 40, 90. What does that mean? 50% from the floor, 40% from distance, and 90% from the free throw line. 2 years ago, he was at 89%. Last couple of years, he's hovered over 40 or around 40% from distance, and he's efficient and skilled enough to shoot 50% from the floor. I mean, last year, he was good. 17 points per game, nearly 7 boards, the field goal percentage at 48. I think that 50, 40, 90 is in store for Toby, and if that's the case, I think he makes an all-star game. Prediction number 7, D'Anthony Melton. He hasn't come close to averaging 15 points per game. He's been more of a 10 points per game guy, like his wiggle, like the dog mentality, like what he brings to the table. You look at his numbers last year, nearly 11 points per game, 4.5 boards, less than 3 assists, 40% from the field. I think those numbers go up because he's got to get more open looks, which will allow him to be a little bit more efficient. And D'Anthony Melton, giving this team 15 points per game, that's something they haven't had coming in off the bench from a player like that stylistically in a little while. A couple more predictions left to get to. Number 8. Finally, the Sixers make the Eastern Conference Finals. They have not made it past the second round since 2001. But because they have toughness, because they have star power, because they have depth, and hopefully Doc Rivers gets over some of those playoff shortcomings, they make a deep run in the playoffs. And in a loaded Eastern Conference, they finally make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think the Heat take a step back. I think they can beat Boston. I think they can beat Milwaukee. Other than that, not worried about many other teams out there. Cleveland Cavaliers have improved, but I'll take Philadelphia in a 7-game series. With that, I ask you this, put you to the test once more, fill in the blank. Sixers are a top blank team in the Eastern Conference. I think they're top 3, no question. Milwaukee probably number 1 for me. 2 predictions left. Number 9. Isaiah Joe earns a rotation spot. That's something that he hasn't been able to do in his first 2 years in the league out of Arkansas. Intriguing player, though, because he can let it fly from deep. And then prediction number 10. Yeah, baby. Philadelphia 76ers now continues to take off as your home for the best Sixers news, rumors, analysis, breaking news, and year-round coverage. Training camp getting underway next week, so we are about to uptick our coverage here on the channel. Lock us in, subscribe, hit that red sub button, and as always, I appreciate all of you for watching.